Hey everyone, welcome to Shadow Skull Studios. It's Raeven. We're back with another Friday deck list. I know I missed. Ooh, we got ads popping up. I know I missed a Thursday episode, but with the tornado that came through where I live, it knocked out the internet and power, so I missed a day. But it's just gonna have to be what it is. I'm still gonna upload this deck list on this Friday, and I'm still gonna do the short of a pack opening because I do want to do Friday pack openings. And keep it as a standard thing. And I would ask guys to support the channel if you enjoy my content. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below about any opinions you have on my deck list, any thing you want me to like maybe try and do on the channel. Keep it going. Give me some interactions. It'll really help out with the algorithms. And with that, let's go ahead and get into the deck list. Today we're doing Ship Gets Real. It is a boat-themed deck. Going into it, the captain is Jared Carthalion. Mostly it's because his +1 will make 3/3s that will crew the boats. His -3 can basically put counters on the Kavu to make them bigger, or he can put counters on the vehicles, do a little shenanigans. The -6, I have some multicolored stuff he can get back, but not a lot. So yeah, it's mostly just to do the +1 though. Going into our Planeswalkers, we have Duretti, Scrap Savant. He is mostly Graveyard Recursion, but with card advantage, and if we can ever ultimate him, we'll try. Karn the Great Creator. He can animate one of our vehicles, and his stack ability is really good at slowing down our opponents. And the -2 to get any artifacts that our opponents exile back is a pretty huge advantage. Tezzeret also animates our vehicles, and his +1 is pretty good. We have Ugin the Ineffable. The +1 for card advantage is pretty dope. He makes my colorless vehicles and artifacts pretty cheaper to cast, and the -3 is really good removal. Going into our creatures, we have Bloom Tinder. This one is basically just a really good mana dork. Then we have Brea, Ethereum Shaper. If our opponent's trying to exile artifacts that we have or stuff like that, we can sacrifice them. That way they can go to the graveyard and get some value out of them. Next is Serdan the Shipwright. With this one, when it ETBs, we're either going to get card advantage or we get to oops a thing. So, and it's really just here for flavor, and it's a really fun interaction that can really change the game. We have Fabril Elder. That is also a really good mana dork. We have Foundry Inspector to make all our effects cheaper. Hannah, Ship's Navigator for Graveyard Recursion. Joira with the Light Captain is for card advantage. Mishra makes a copy of one of our vehicles, hopefully, and will animate it. We have Padim, who will give all our artifacts hexproof and some card advantage. Savalahar the Wilds is a really good mana dork. Sidri, Galvanic Genius, will animate our artifacts, and then we can give them Death Touch and Lifelink. Takesha is just Graveyard Recursion, and she can give our vehicles Vigilance so that we can crew them in the future. Urza, Chief Artificer. With this, he can, at the beginning of our end step, we'll make a construct that can crew our vehicles, and he also gives our vehicles and other artifact creatures menace. Urza, Lord High Artificer, can turn all our artifacts into mana dorks, and he just has really good abilities. Urza, Lord Protector, will make all our artifacts cheaper and our instant and sorceries, and it also goes with the Might Stone and Weak Stone. Urza, Prince of Krug, will Anthem all of our artifact creatures, and he can make copies of our vehicles that are automatically animated. Blasphemous Act. Since this is a highly vehicle deck, the board wipes will help us slow down our opponents, and we can probably rebuild faster. Damnation is another good board wipe. Eerie Ultimatum is just mass graveyard recursion. Fabricate is to tutor through our deck. Farseek is to go get lands. The Supreme Verdict is a non-counterable board wipe. Going to our instance, we have Abrupt Decay for a really good removal. Counterflux is just a good counterspell that cannot be countered. Heroic Intervention for protection. Frozen Grip and Path to Exile for removal. Next, going into artifacts. Arcane Signet. Armorly Sphere is mostly here for flavor because in boats, some captain's quarters have the globe or orreries, and that's what this is. Going to our first vehicle, we have Bomat Bizarre Barge. That when ETBs, we get card advantage. We have Braid Wars Sextant. Another tool for sailors. It's just in here for flavor. I thought it was pretty funny. Brotherhood Vertibird. Basically, some of these boats look like carriers. So yeah, that's what this is here for. Commander Sphere for Mandor Conqueror's Galleon. When it attacks, it exiles it, and then it returns transformed, and it transforms into a land that has a lot of really good abilities. But yeah, it's just another really good boat. We have Consulate Dreadnought. We have Dusk Legion Dreadnought. We have Expedition Map. We have Fell Flagship, that when it deals damage to a player, they discard a card. And it anthems our pirates, which we don't make. Foreboding Steamboat. So this is just really good removal, and it will help us investigate for card advantage. We have Golden Argosy. Basically, this one will have to crew with something with like Brea or Urza or something like that to get advantage. But yeah, he can basically exile and bring back the creatures that crew it. So we have to be really selective with what we crew it with, but it's pretty good. Heart of Kirin. With our Planeswalker and a Planeswalker Commander, we can crew it very easily. Magmatic Galleon. When it ETBs, it does 5 damage to target creature. And when they're dealt excess damage, we get a treasure. So this one's also, if we wanted to crew one of our other vehicles into the Argosy, and then blink them, we can get some other removal, or not removal, value. Marauding Dreadship. When ETBs, we incubate. Basically, it's going to be a creature, an artifact that if we turn it to a creature, can crew it later. Non-alloyed Ship is Graveyard Hate. And we can get those creatures back on our side of the field when it deals combat damage to a player. Parhelion 2. This, when it attacks, will make us more creatures that we can basically use as blockers because it brings them in attacking, but they're not tapped. Raiders Carve. This is kind of card advantage for lands on the top of our deck if we get lucky. Recon Craft Theta makes the thing that crews it, and when it attacks, we proliferate, so we can proliferate the counters that our commander will put on our creatures or on our planeswalkers, stuff like that. Rib Skiff. When it ETBs, we draw a card, and it has Toxic 2, so our opponents are most likely going to block this and the other things that when they deal combat damage get us advantage. RMS Titanic. Basically, when it deals damage to a player, we're going to sack it, create that many treasures, but we can get it back in the future. And it's fine. I think it's just a really, and it's actually a boat, so I think it's pretty cool. Shadowed Caravel. Any of our creatures that I explore, it will put a counter on the Caravel. I don't run a lot of that. It's just a really cheap vehicle to put in the deck. Simulacrum Synthesizer is just a really good ETBs we scry to, and for a lot of the artifacts that we cast, we're going to make constructs that are just going to get bigger, and then we can use them as blockers or to crew our vehicles. Sovereign Console Flagship is removal on a stick. On ETB and attack, it deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker and opponent controls. We have Soul Ring. Subterranean Schooner. Basically, when it attacks, the creatures that crewed it, or one creature that crewed it, explores. So that with the Shadowed Caravel kind of work together. Sword of the Pay Runes is to go infinite with the Feybarrow Elder and Zavala. The Belligerent, when it attacks, we create a treasure, and until end of turn, we can look at the top of our library anytime. We may play lands and cast spells on top of our library. It's a really good vehicle. It's a really good attack trigger. The Indomitable, when it deals combat damage to a player, we draw a card. And basically, it can kind of recur itself, so that's really good. The Mightstone Weakstone on ETB is removal or card advantage, and it will help us cast our artifacts. And it goes with Ur's Lord Protector to transform. We have the Predwin Steel Flagship. It will make the creatures that can crew it and those creatures will get bigger anytime an artifact ETBs. Thunderhawk Gunship, when it ETBs, it will make its own creatures that crew it, and it will give all our stuff flying. Umbra Mantle is to go infinite with Feybarrow Elder, Bloom Tender, and Zavala for infinite mana. And then we have the Weatherlight that on damage will get us some card advantage. Now going to our lands, I did go a little heavy with it, which is also why the deck is pretty expensive at $853. Panorama for mana fixing, or to go get lands for things that we can cast from our hand. Breeding Pool, Command Tower, Evolving Wilds, Exotic Orchard, Evolving Wilds, Exotic Orchard, Ferris Lake, 3 Forest, Hinterland Harbor, that one is just for flavor. Endotha Triome, Inventor's Fair to gain some life, and Tutor. We have 3 islands. We have Mirix, 3 mountains, Myriad Landscape. This one's literally, I chose this art because of the coast. I tried to choose the art to go kind of with the water because this is a boat deck. 3 plains, Port Town, because haha. We have Rogran Triome, Reflecting Pool, Seaside Citadel, Shipwreck Marsh, Steam Vents, Stormcarved Coast, and 3 Swamp. So yeah, and I made sure to do 3 of each of the basics, so we are always going to be able to go get more of the basics. And yeah, so let's go ahead and look at what our hand would be. Pretty decent hand. We'll go ahead and draw for turn 1. And immediately we're going to do the Seaside Citadel. Next turn, we'll do Exotic Orchard, cast Heart of Kirin. Next turn, we'll do Plains. And we can't do anything yet. That's fine. Next turn, we'll do Stormcarved Coast. And then we can do the RMS Titanic. This is a really slow deck because it is like, this is just a joke deck. This is a casual deck that has some infinite combos for mana and it can do stuff. Next turn, we'll do Mirix. Immediately what I would want to do is we're going to use our lands, cast our commander. If commander is not countered, we're going to add a token. Kavu. With the Kavu, let's see, we add a loyalty counter, right? Because it's just +1. Yep. Then we'll tap the Kavu. We'll crew the RMS Titanic. And we'll also crew Remove a loyalty counter. We'll crew the Kieran, so we'll attack with both. Hopefully we'll hit one of our opponents because it does have trample. Make that many treasures. So yeah, turn 5 is still not bad for a casual deck. Let's go ahead and do again. Turn 1. We'll go ahead. I don't have a heavy turn 1, so we're going to do Steam Vents and play tapped. Next turn, we'll do a swamp. Next turn, cool. We'll do Stormcard Coast. We'll do an expedition map. And we'll go ahead and tap 2. So we'll tap all our mana out. We're going to sack it. And we're going to go grab a plains. And it'll go in our hand. Draw for turn 4. We'll play the plains. And what do we want to do? What do we want? Because we have some options. We can do the Foundry Inspector. We can do Sidri. We can do the Golden Argosy. And on our next turn, do Foundry Inspector and some other stuff. But yeah, so let's go ahead. We'll just do the Golden Argosy. Do that. Now we have removal. So what we'll do is we'll leave it wide open. We'll do Foundry Inspector. Next turn, we can do the Mindstone and Weakstone. Remove one of our opponent's things, more likely. And the next turn after that, we can do the Thunderhawk. And we can crew the Golden Argosy with the Inspector. Do a bunch of other stuff like that. Let's do one more restart. Draw for turn 1. So immediately what I want to do is a red. And we're going to leave it open. Next turn, we'll do a swamp. You know what? No, we'll do the turn 1 that. Turn 2, the Caravel. Next turn, plains. We'll do the Marauding Drug ship. And then we make... Let me see here. The incubator. Add a counter. Add a counter. Because it incubates 2, correct? Yep. And our next turn, if we don't have the right mana to cast things from our hands, we can transform it and crew something. Next turn, we don't have the mana. It's fine, but we'll flip. So let me see here. How do we flip it? Turn over. There we go. So now we have a 2/2 that we can crew the Marauding Dreg ship. Let me see. What's the biggest thing? It's crew 6. So I'd rather just crew the Marauding Dreg ship and swing with that. Next turn, we'll do the swamp. We don't have the correct mana. We just got screwed with nothing but basics. But we could crew one of our other vehicles and swing again. Next turn, we have a forest. So all we're missing is blue, and then we can do our commander, do some other stuff. But blue really holds us back right now. But we also have this, and we make 2 Astartes. So now we can crew the Dreadnought if we wanted to, or if we wanted to hold it back. That's how it would work. And then next turn, we can do the Theta Craft. Actually, I want to play this one more time. This is a deck I really want to build, so like kind of playing it on here really helps. So we have Port Town, which should come to play tapped. Yeah, so we're kind of screwed on land. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. And it looks like I'm going to go ahead and grab a forest. Yes, we're going to set to graveyard. No, we're going to grab a mountain. So, oh, look right there. Mountain comes in play tapped. Close and shuffle. Turn 2. Oh, we have steam vents. That's fine. Wait, no. Because then we can do Port Town. Port Town, reveal steam vents. Then we'll tap for Soul Ring. Tap for 2. And we'll do Foundry Inspector. Boom! Automatically ramped up on turn 2. Turn 3. We'll do Steam Vents, losing 2 life. And now we can kind of go ham because we have technically 6 mana. We could do Padim to protect Foundry Inspector and Soul Ring. Let's see here. We'll do that for Arcane Signet. And we'll tap out for Padim. There we go. Next turn. We could do the Sextant if we wanted to. Here, we'll tap 2. Sovereign for removal. And then we can do the Sextant for free. And then we'll pay the 2. Sack it. And then we'll go get a forest. Grab a forest, put it in our hand. Yeah, this one went heavy this time. All right. So it's Crew 3, which the Foundry Inspector can do. So I want to go ahead I'd like to go ahead and we could do, let me see here. We could do the Fairbell Elder. Because like we can cast anything in our hand now. So the turn 5, we have popped off. That was just perfect how that went out. So what I'd want to do first is we'll do this. Cast Acacia. No. Maybe? I don't have enough. I would need another white mana to do both Acacia and Fairbell. So I think I'd still be short. That's fine. What we'll do is we'll do Fairbell Elder. And then we'll do blue, blue, and that. We'll have an extra colorless that doesn't do anything. We'll do the Indomitable, and that's fine. Going into it though, we'll crew the Sovereign, swing with the Sovereign, blowing, shooting something else for 3 on turn 5. Next turn, Bant Panorama, which is, we'll do that. Then we'll sack it. And we can get a basic. So I'd like to go ahead and grab a swamp. So grab a swamp. Do we put in play tapped? Let's look at this. Put in play tapped. That's fine. And then what we can do is we tap that for Bant. And then we do black, red, cast commander. With commander, make Kavu. That's not what I wanted. Add token. Kavu. Make Kavu. Crew flagship. How much does it crew this? 3. Crew the Indomitable. Then we swing, swing, hopefully drawing a card. Burning shooting something else for 3. We have double green for Savala, and then we could probably do Acacia if we wanted to. He got a counter. So yeah, this is how this deck goes. Basically, you just want to get vehicles out, swing with your vehicles, keep your creatures back, because hopefully, and if they kill Fairbell Elder, Jared can get it back for the -6. But yeah, it's... This deck is very iffy. It is literally just a casual deck that can sometimes pop off because artifacts are just like that. But I just wanted to make boat themes. 1, it's a fun challenge. 2, it's just a really funny deck. Don't touch America's boats. Don't touch my boats. I will shoot you. And yeah, guys, that's just the theme of the deck. Ship gets real. But anyways, guys, I do ask for likes and subscriptions to help out the channel. I do want to do this as a living and in the future do this at higher quality. But unfortunately, I just need to be making money to do that. And with my full-time job, it just gets difficult. So yeah, guys, if you enjoy my content, please show some support. And I'll see y'all again next time, guys. Bye-bye.